All right, so, hello, my name is Gary McAllister. I'm the athletic director here at Kennerdale High School, which is where we are right now. And I'm also the chairperson for the NSCA High School Strength and Conditioning SIG. And today at my school, we had a staff development, and we were fortunate enough to bring in Rick Howard from the Long-Term Athletic Development SIG and also Westchester University to talk to our health and physical education staff, as well as our strength and conditioning staff, as well as our sports medicine staff, talk about long-term athletic development and how we can make our program better for our kids, K through 12, athlete, non-athlete, everybody. So I just want to introduce Rick, and I guess the biggest thing that I would like to hear him talk about is how he thinks the concepts of long-term athletic development apply to scholastic strength and conditioning.
Cool. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate the opportunity. One thing that I've noticed is that LTAD is cradle to grave, and it transcends every sport. So no matter where you are as a strength and conditioning professional, but especially at the high school setting, you are able to be that relationship builder to the schools below you, to those who go on to college, past where you are, and also within your building. So you can communicate with the coaches, you can communicate with the rest of the physical education staff. You really are the conduit as a strength and conditioning professional through which everybody else can go, using the principles of long-term athletic development to make sure that you're focusing on motor skill development, muscle strength development, and not muscle strength solely for the purpose of getting stronger in your bench press, which we've all moved past, but being able to recognize that you need to have strength in all of your movements in order to move well across, not just in your sport, but across the lifespan.
So let's say we're dealing with people, coaches, they may be full-time, they may be part-time, but they're dealing with predominantly, they're dealing with athletes. What are some things that you think that they should be looking for or learning about when they're dealing with athletes that are coming in for the first time, whether they be freshmen that are just coming to 9th grade and participating in a sport for the first time interscholastically, or they're an upperclassman that maybe just hasn't been around?
It's a great question too, because in a lot of school systems, the sport coach isn't supposed to go from the high school down to the middle school, the elementary school, because it looks like recruiting. The strength coach, however, just like at the college level, they're the person who has the most ability, the greatest ability to be able to communicate with students at every grade level. So if you look at LTAD and some of the things you should know and be able to do at different levels, and it varies based on growth and maturity, of course, but what type of things should those students have done before they get to be a 9th grader? Strength and conditioning does not start in 9th grade. Strength and conditioning starts 3rd or 4th grade. Movement starts as soon as possible. So if you can get to be part of that process, helping kids learn to move proficiently throughout their elementary school experience, you've added great value to yourself as a professional, as well as really built a nice bridge into the high school setting. So you're not starting at ground zero in 9th grade, you're starting at 9th grade and 9th grade. We talk about training age. You don't want to be training age 0 coming in 9th grade. You want to have the fundamental skills and abilities to be able to do that. I know NSCA has a position statement, UK has a position statement on when to incorporate strength and conditioning lifts, when to incorporate Olympic lifts into the program. All of them can be done in elementary school and should be, not wait until high school. So you have such a value in your community, going to the different schools, working with groups, and it might not necessarily be just a school group. You could go out to other coaching groups, other sports that are coming up. Too often we keep saying that we should be actually getting in shape to play, but all you see is youth sports running around playing a sport without getting into condition. You could really be an asset to the community at large.
So that's a great segue, because another question I have is, we have strength and conditioning coaches. Sometimes they're very much ingrained. Like at my school, our main strength and conditioning coaches are also health and physical education full-time teachers. But that's not always common, and a lot of times the strength and conditioning coach might be an after-school position, whether it be full-time or part-time or an hourly. But what are some first steps that a strength and conditioning coach can take once they learn about the concepts and principles of long-term athletic development and start having those conversations with other members of the faculty at the school, like the health and physical education teachers, to get that ball moving, to start ensuring that the kids coming to them in 9th grade are more physically literate?
Cool. Well, first of all, you have to think long term. So what is that going to look like in the long term for your students? Really, what is your vision and mission for the program? Where do you want to see them going? Not just in high school, but once they get out. So how do you provide value for that? How is it that the athletic population in the school is hugely important? However, most people will argue that it's a small subset of the entire student population. So how are you getting to be valued to not just that population, but like you've done here in your school, you've attracted all of the students into strength and conditioning, and they find out how exciting it can really be. So you can focus outside of the strength and conditioning realm for sports specifically by providing strength and conditioning for all students, working with the health and physical education staff who oftentimes don't have the necessary training in strength and conditioning to run a pure strength and conditioning class in school as part of phys ed. So you're not replacing them, you're advocating for them, you're helping them to understand and recognize what they need to do in order to be the best phys ed teacher they can be. And now you've built a relationship. Now the two of you together are building it out school-wide, just like you've done here. This is fabulous. To be able to have all of the students engaged and interested in strength and conditioning, whether it's for sports or whether it's for physical literacy, but across the entire lifespan. You're building tools that kids can use forever.
Last question, and feel free to add anything you want to. High school strength conditioning, long-term athletic development. Ideally, you've been in this game for a long time. Ideally, what do you see as the best next steps moving forward?
The best next steps, that was tough. Collaboration. I think that although we are individual SIGs, we all have our own specialty focus, and we appeal to members within NSCA who have that particular concentration focus. We're all in the same game. We're all in strength and conditioning. I think we need to figure out ways to work better together to really get this out, whether you're a baseball coach, whether you're in the baseball SIG, whether you're in the basketball SIG, high school SIG, LTAD SIG, and not just within the NSCA either. We found out through doing our youth work that the American Physical Therapy Association has a youth-focused SIG. So where are there other groups that have high school SIGs? The athletic trainers do. So where are there groups where you could get engaged with other high school professionals all across the industry to really have a greater impact? We can't do it alone. We all need to really start working together to create the value and the synergy that we need to move to that next level together.
Great. Well, thank you very much for your time. Anything else you'd like to add?
This is a great facility, and I encourage everybody to come see it. This is fantastic.
Come to Fallbrook, Pennsylvania.
There you go.
Well, with that, thank you very much, Rick Howard, and appreciate you watching the video.
Thank you.